The money that was raised that evening was specifically for the art panels. So what's happening right now at the Bayou, or the park in the Bayou, is there's a lot of renovation right now. And we wanted to bring our people together and raise money and awareness for, because all that's getting torn down. It's going through renovations, and it's really expanding. And we wanted the city specifically, the Parks Board, to know that these panels are important and they need to have some focus. And by us raising money specifically, being an outside entity, that Elaine Dillard and Barry Blumenthal, they were the founders essentially of the movement of having those panels there, and the park in itself, and keeping it a focus of the city, I guess is a better way to put it.
When I was younger, I listened to like heavy metal and punk rock, and I hung out with the skaters, and being an artist, and I think that's where this all ties in together. It's skateboarding encompasses like so much culture, like rap, hip hop, punk, death metal, late 90s, early 2000 metal, death metal, power violence, grindcore, thrashcore. Just, Thrasher magazine, looking at Thrasher magazine when I was younger, it's just pivotal to me and inspired me so much. And it's freedom, Instant culture is just going down the drain. Gentrification and the lack of inspiration. And I hope some kid looks at what I did and gets inspired to create more and to do his own thing and make his own stuff and keep going. I'm really proud of Houston. At the same time, I feel like we could be doing a lot more. I don't know. I'm happy about it. I'm doing my part. Hi, I'm EYESORE. It's October 17th, 2013. And this piece is dedicated to all the kids in Houston that are skating. And it's for them.
But yeah, whenever the skate park originally opened up, they contacted a handful of artists. I forget how many, like 6 or 8 different graffiti artists around town. There was Color, Sode, Gonzo, there was Meat Verb, I forget a couple other ones. And they originally painted the original panels on the skate park when it first opened up. So now I guess the plan is to redo those panels again. This piece is actually for an opening that's happening the Friday before the actual Living Legends show. And it's, I believe, for an auction to raise money for the, I guess, the little front alley of the skate park, where it's definitely needed. Like, you can't just have like a blank skate park. I feel like it's not really complete if it doesn't have colors and paint on the walls or around it somewhere. I mean, skateboarding is a subculture, even though it has blown up and become very popular now. It still comes from an underground, type of, mentality and which is the same thing with like graffiti and street art. So I feel like they go hand in hand to where one complements the other in a way. So it seems weird to just have a blank skate park, you know? It's almost like a blank canvas in a way. So hopefully by doing this, it'll, you know, inspire people to maybe be like, oh, well, hey, these paintings are cool, pretty, or I like looking at them, or they remind me of something, or then maybe they'll want these larger or more of them, or different, you know, by different artists. And that's kind of the plan, I hope. It was actually hard to narrow it down to like 4 boards that I considered like some of my favorite designs, or that I thought were kind of very inspirational or groundbreaking at the time. So I just took those and kind of like put my little twist and my interpretation of them with how I've been painting lately, kind of more, not really, it is representational in a form, but really more emphasis on like mark making and, you know, more shapes, and rather than like perfection line. And so they're filtered in a way, I guess, if you want to, you know, through my brain, I guess. I couldn't, yeah, the designs are mostly like, the colors and like what the images, like the Vision Psycho Stick board was like super popular, and the Christian Hasori board was super popular, but at the same time I like chose it because of like the exploding like sun, you know, Japanese type sun is even still super prominent in like artwork nowadays, you know, and this is like 30 years later, you know, so I kind of chose it for that. And then the late 80s, early 90s, like stuff kind of all coming back around now, so I kind of thought that that one was real, definitely like groundbreaking back at the time, but like still very like inspirational, and like influences a lot of work nowadays. And then Jim Davis's Hand, of course, was like super popular design that had a lot of different interpretations, and I'd never really seen too much of it done on the Rasta edition, so I was like, being a fan of Rasta stuff too, I was like, I'll do that version, you know.
Okay, so you adapted your own to each one, right?
Yeah. It's been definitely like a good 6 years, 7 years of like, I mean, I was painting before, but I guess actually like concentrating on painting and trying to create a type of, if you want to call finer art, you know, something a little more refined and developed, I guess. Yeah. Even though I'm still using a lot of the same tools and, you know, tricks, if you want to call them, that possibly were used whenever I first started painting, you know, deep graffiti in front of me. So I don't really like close myself off to anything. I've been definitely painting a lot of murals and a lot of stuff with spray paint, so it's hard to like not use spray paint in the work. And then I definitely still do like painting with paintbrush a lot, so I've been incorporating that, and then a lot of inks and pens and markers and oil sticks, and pretty much like I said, anything I can get my hands on. I definitely always have something playing, always have music going on whenever I'm working on anything. I feel like they kind of go hand in hand. They're both a type of art, one being visual and one being audio. So it's impossible to like I feel like doing one and not really be influenced by the other, or be thinking about the other one. I listen to a variety of music, but I tend to like, when I'm really creating work, to be listening to a lot of more upbeat, real fast stuff. All kinds of stuff, from electronic to indie, a lot of rap, a lot of hip hop. It's just like a blend of stuff. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's definitely a big, you know, like I said, since I'm always trying to keep myself painting and keep myself busy, I'm always listening to music, so it's a huge part of my everyday life.
My name is Jeanette Degollado. I am a photographer and visual artist. I was the curator for the Legends event for 2013, which featured art, graffiti art specifically, punk rock, and skateboarding. So hey, do you think you can blur out my face like everyone else for this?
Yeah.
Sweet.
All right.
Okay, the Legends show is a show that happens every year, typically towards the end of the year, has different names. But this specific show is called The Legends, and it encompassed 3 different genres of urban culture, which is skateboarding, graffiti, and punk rock. This particular event was, or rather this particular time, we had a pre-showing or previewing of artwork that was donated by the artist. The day before, which was that Friday, and that took place at a gallery. Avis Frank was kind enough to donate their space for the evening, and we raised several $1,000s of the artwork that was donated by Ack, Azul, EYESORE, Cutthroat, Sewed, and Wiley. So it was a good turnout, and it was a lot of different types of urban street art, graffiti. It was a culmination of a plethora of artists that came together to donate their time and their artwork to raise money for awareness of the skate park, and also for community advocacy, bringing the community together in an urban setting, enjoying the outside and the skate park. But the Skaters Alley is a different part of the skate park. It's literally outside of it, and its function is to house art panels that are about 16 by 4 feet, 16 in width and 4 feet in height, for graffiti art for the public. Its purpose is specifically to provide a space and area for artists or wanting to be artists or aspiring artists to come and paint without any bureaucracy. The artists that participated that day to paint were Vizie, Dual, Daniel Anguilu, I hope I pronounced that correctly, Where One, and Skeez 181. The artists that donated for the event to raise funds for the silent auction are Cutthroat, Wiley, Sewed, Ack, and EYESORE. Those, without them we wouldn't have been able to raise any money for the panels. Most of the money that we raised came from the silent auction, so it was a very integral part. Everything that we raised was specifically for the event that day or for the expansion project for the art panels. A lot of us didn't get paid. There was a lot of man hours behind all of this, and everyone donated their time, thankfully. We're blessed enough to have people excited and interested and willing and went above and beyond. I mean, Ack donated 2 pieces, Painted 3 donated 2. We got a couple pieces, 3 pieces from EYESORE, which was really awesome. So, I mean, you know, the Dual painted a fantastic piece. I mean, everyone's artwork was sewed. I mean, he painted like a 4-foot by 8-foot panel, or 2 feet by 8 foot. So everyone definitely put in a lot of time. So
it's gonna go into this area?
Something like that. I haven't seen the actual plans though, from what the parks are telling us.
Today, and it's my first time skating here at the park, and just sidewalk surfing all day. So if you missed it, whatever, catch us next time. But I just wanted you guys to know in Houston that love your skate park and your city, man. So peace out.
Well, Vans was so generous in sponsoring Tony Alva. We also had John Gibson here, Doug Saladino, Pineapple Doug, Steve Olson, and Craig Johnson. And they were awesome and did a really rad sesh in the Kidney, right beneath the punk rock band. So that was super, super cool. You know, I don't know where else you'd be able to see that in Houston unless you're skating in someone's pool in their backyard and your friends in a punk band. So it's a cool place to be and to experience, you know, be a part of. So pretty exciting for all the kids. So our sponsors for the event, and let me just try to name them off without forgetting anyone, is Skate 08, Skate Lab, Free Press Houston, Deep Eddy, Lola Savannah Coffee Company, Whole Foods, House of Blues, Good Pop, Commerce Art Gallery, the Houston Park Sport, of course. Without them, none of this would have been possible. Free Press Houston, Soundwaves, Embassy, Witch, and Deep Eddy Vodka. Oh, and of course Pete's Pizza. They were also there to support us. Donkey Paw Printing Company, of course. Donkey Paw Printing, who did our shirts, and the illustration for the flyer. Special big hugs and thanks to Jim Peterson Jr., who was our major donor. Without him, none of this would have even come close to being possible. And also to our co-producers, James Furr and Xavier Zotos. So thank you.